What I like to do is I take people and I just show them, first off in the beginning, is to look at everything around them. And then I say, what do you see? And they're like, oh, spinifex, hills, really dry areas. And then I tell them, well, come here, I'll show you what I see. And then I'll point out, well, this is a bush tomato, that's a bush coconut. Here you can find witchetty grubs. This one is a potato tree. And then people's eyes really open up, because then they realise that what they thought was a dry, arid place with nothing in it is actually abundant in food. And that's the biggest thing I think that people are starting to realise, is that native Australian foods are built for Australian conditions. I heard a quote, I think it was Bruce Pascoe actually, He said that, the country wants to feed us, it wants to provide for us, but we've actually got to listen to it and stop trying to change it. If you look at European ways of farming as an example, now they're finding a lot of problems with salinity and so forth, whereas native foods don't have that problem because they've always grown here. So it's a matter of tapping into that resource and using it to our advantage. And what I want to do is show people the things that I grew up eating. My mum would take me for long walks, and we'd go walking all over the country, and we'd just be looking for food to eat, and we'd gather it all, and at the end of the day, or halfway through the day, we'd have a big feed. Cockles are really easy to find once you know how to look for them. So I take people down to KARRATHA Back Beach. There's many places where you can get cockles from actually, but it's one of the places I go to. And we walk out, 50 metres from the shoreline, not even that. And then I tell people, just feel around with your feet. Once you start feeling these hard things that feel like rocks under your feet, they're cockles. And all of a sudden they're like, there's one, and they just keep finding more and more. And then I tell people, now that you know how to find it, now you've got to teach yourself to not take too many, because it's so easy to get so many. And then, because after they know it, the bucket's almost full, it's like, all right, tip it all out, you don't need that much. And then after we've collected all the cockles, and I'll go and show them where all the oysters are. It was really interesting because I grew up here all my life, and we know about big tides coming in and out, But I've taken some chefs out, and I've shown them where these little oysters are, and they look at me with a weird look, and they're like, "Are we really gonna try these? Aren't they like? Won't they be dry because they've been exposed?" It's like, and then I realised, no, these guys are only exposed for a few hours. The tide will come back in. And like, oh really? Because they don't realise how big the tides get. And then I get some spinifex, light it up on top of the on the oysters, and the heat from the flame and the smoke opens the oysters up, and the smoke gives it a nice flavour, and texture, and then everyone who's ever tried it reckons they're the best oysters they've ever tasted. My pool has permanent water. So because it has permanent water, it's associated with the serpent. So therefore it's considered a sacred site. It's also the boundary between the Ngaarda and the Murrudunera people. And so it's always a place where people would meet up all the time, over the years. And meant that the two groups would have many interactions, ceremonies, whatever it may be, marriages. But anyways, it's always been a place of gathering where people go to, and because of the permanent water, it's a good camping area and a lot of good hunting around it too, because of the water. I think too many Aboriginal people over the years have told some little fibs, little white lies to tourists about certain things. But when I show them a waggaru as we call it, bush coconut. If people don't really know what to expect, and we crack them open and I tell them, look, it's exactly like a coconut on the inside, but then there's this little thing on the inside that they're unsure of. And I said, there's probably a reason why you're unsure about eating it, because it's a grub. And I said, but it's a sweet little grub. It's more like a grape than anything, and they're very, very sweet. What they do is they actually build this gall around themselves, and they capture all the nutrients of the plant. And so the gall ends up protecting them from other predators that could potentially eat them, except for human beings, because we figured it out, But anyways, it's a really good bush tucker, known as a bush coconut around here, but in some other places people call it the bloodwood apple, because it grows on the bloodwood tree. Ngurrangga tuas means on-country tuas. Ngurrangga actually means on-country.